Why the hell we have this market dips just recently? Like every second day we have this market dips, and we will talk about why we have those. And did you ever saw a stock chart that is like that? No, there is none existing straight stock charts like that. It's more like that, and therefore welcome to the vlog. Every morning or every other morning when I wake up, I see sometimes futures like that. And for some of you guys are out there watching my content, getting half a heart attack out there every time you see this. Wait, before that, please absolutely destroy the like button, okay? Then let's talk about this market dips, because it seems like it's now on regular basis. And some people are asking, is this a new kind of signs for a new market crash, right? We heard this the second wave, and we hear this new bad cases going up and so on. Or is it just a normal correction, and how long does it can last? All about this we will discuss in this vlog. Let's directly start with the correction of the market. Usually markets correct, especially under the circumstances that we just had in a couple of weeks. Just an amazing rally, okay? The market just had super positive news, like more and more stimulus. We had the overall recovery of the economy is totally underway. So the stock market always pricing in the future. So these three things combined is the reason why we really went up in the last couple of weeks. And obviously there's also a lot of new interested people into the market that just joined, and those especially maybe are now questioning the current situation. Especially, are we buying those dips, or we are freaking losing it all again, right? So these are the two questions, and I think it's something in between, because as per stats out there, there's some retail investors that are buying lots and lots of call options. These are leveraged products on the upper side of a stock. So if a stock make 5%, this call options will make maybe 10, 20, 30%, right? And obviously the same will happen if the stock goes down. So if the stock goes down, which can happen now anytime because of a real correction, then those retail investors are really screwed. And this is something very dangerous, so don't do that. But let's talk about this correction. Is this correction something normal? Yes, it belongs to a healthy stock market. If we are looking into the chart of the S&P, there was always one big direction, which was up. So long term, which I'm always praising here on this channel, is the way to go. But on the other side, make sure to always understand that we can have phases, weeks, days, months, years of maybe flat growth or even decline. This is totally normal. This belongs to a normal and healthy economy, which we will talk about the cycle of an economy in the later stage of this vlog. So with this said, let's jump to the next part. Now comes the million-dollar question. What do you do when you see this kind of days, right? That it goes rapidly down or up? We tend to do exactly the wrong thing. We actually, as humans, are psychologically unstable to this kind of things. We see our money just going away like that. We are tending to panic and to sell, okay? On the other side, if you see really green, you have this FOMO, fear of missing out, something that you say, wow, now it's going only up, I have to buy this. So you buy overpriced, and on the other side you are selling underpriced. So I wrote a huge tactic that I worked on very many decades, and I wrote it down here for you guys, and I will just disclose it right now for you, what you do on those days. I hope you can read it. Basically nothing, guys, okay? Basically, you do nothing because you have your strategy. You need to have a strategy, okay? A strategy, for example, is, hey, I invest regularly, like every month, when I put aside a certain amount after my spendings, after my regular things like rent, like groceries, like living, all of these things, then you have an amount that you regularly put into the stock market, right? Or you say, once a year I put an amount into the stock market, which is also fine. It's also a strategy. But guys, don't start to day trade. Don't try to outsmart the market, because you will not, guys, okay? So many millions of people tried this before, doing this millions of time, and we will talk about why this is important to just be steady in what you do, because we are having economical cycles, okay, which we will discuss in the last part of this vlog. But be concentrated on your strategy. This could be like, I'm promoting, for example, the growth strategy, right? So I'm more into innovators and into growth of companies that can expand, that has a technological advantage, or have just a super interesting product. Or there's people that say, I want to have a very mature company that is just, always giving me a certain amount of revenue and giving always slowly more and more revenue, pays maybe dividend, so on the one hand side, you could be an Apple investor. On the other side, you could be a Tesla investor, okay? Totally different strategies, but both can work, guys, okay? There's times where value investing works more, and there's times where growth investing drives more your pockets to be bigger. But on the other side, you really have to have the strategy and be so consequent, so disciplined, and over the years you will create a fortune, guys, okay? So I believe that you should really do nothing. Just relax. Don't look too much on your phone or on the stock market. Sometimes I know it's super hard, but trust the market. Trust me when I say just leave it and follow your strategy, and you will create a fortune. The economical cycle are easy to understand. Well, let me show you this graphic here. As you can see, it just consists on a couple of phases. Now we have obviously the peak, or I would call it also the boom, right? So we had these booms over the housing markets. We had this kind of booms in the .com bubble. We had Bitcoin booms. So those are the very peak where people, investors, are too confident and just putting everything they have on the stock market, onto an asset or housing or whatever it was in the past, even tulip. Then you can be sure that we are in this economical part of an economical cycle. Now on the other side, what comes after that is of course a downturn, a recession, something that is just resetting all the cycle, okay? So this is actually happening, for example, right now. And right now we are at the end of the peak. We had a 10 years bull market run, guys, so be happy if you was part of it. If not, be even happier to be now inside the beginning of a new one. So there's always the positivity out of this. Doesn't matter in which cycle you are. If you're at the peak, well, then it's brilliant, because then just lock in your profits and you will be good to go, because then you can use these profits to invest into a slower period of time where everything is on the cheap, like it was a couple of weeks ago, or still is for some certain areas, and then you are just enjoying the ride. However, it's always important to just understand that these cycles can go into decades or longer even, right? So the last rally of the stock market was, for example, for 10 years, longer than 10 years. It was the biggest market rally. And as you can see, we have these phases a couple of times during the last couple of centuries actually, okay? So then comes the recovery. I believe that we could be a very good starting point right now in the recovery of the recovery. So actually we are in the midst of the pickup of demand. We are in the rebuilding of the offer, and then the market will create the exchange, and then we will see more and more business happening. doesn't matter if small business, big business, all are happening on the same concept, okay? You need to have an offer, you have to have a buyer, and then there have to be a market, so they have to exchange values. For one, it's money, for others, it's resources. You can even, with your own body, if you go to work, you're giving some value to your company out there, and therefore this company create a new value out of your resources, and so on and so forth. So it's a huge machinery that we have going on there since years and years and years, and it's just like an old computer, you know, if it doesn't work that well anymore, then you just restart.